Welcome to a new video. First of all, like I always say, grab a drink of your choice. I have a latte, surprise for you and for me. And today I'm going to be talking about ugly things that my friends have done to me. Now I've got a very long story. Whether it's friends or school colleagues that I've always been very quiet, especially in the past. So what happens when you're the quiet child is that children, as a natural response, not necessarily because they're evil, just as a natural response, they tend to leave you apart. Because you're quiet, you do not speak, and obviously they just kind of, whether they think you're weird or they think, maybe they even think you don't want to have friends or you're boring. So slowly they kind of leave you alone. So now I still had friends, okay, but I've experienced quite a few things that have stayed with me throughout these years, and I want to share them with you mostly because I feel like you might identify and it might be helpful to know you're not alone. This is normal. You'll get through it. You will. Okay. One, it was in school. I was about 10 years old, and I had made a plan to go to the movies, to the cinema with two friends, two girls. Obviously at this age, my mum took me to the cinema, and I don't know, let's say imagine we were meeting at like 4 p.m. So it was 4:05, 4:10, 4:15, 4:15, 4:20, 4:25, 30. And they did not arrive. So obviously my mum was like, hang on, I'm gonna call the mums, because like obviously something was weird. So apparently, basically none of them appeared because they thought that the other one was coming to the cinema with me. Later I found out, and even read conversations, that these two girls had been speaking with each other, right, on Messenger, which was where we talked. They had been speaking with each other because none of them wanted to come with me to the cinema. So basically they had been arguing like, no, you go with her. No, you go with her. No, you go with her. No, I don't want to go, we agree that you're going to go this time. No, you go, you go. So apparently both of them thought the other one was going to go with me. So no one appeared. I do think that, because in the conversation that I read later on, you could tell no one was going to appear. But they kept throwing the ball to each other as if I was at the seas or something. So none of them appeared. Now, even though I was only 10 years old, more or less, you already, my little heart felt so bad. And like I knew that just wasn't right. And I remember we just went home. I wish my mom had come with me to the cinema, but she probably had so many things to do. But these things, they really like cause something within your heart. You're like, why? Like, we're going to make do a nice plan, right? And these two girls were actually as well the unpopular ones. So even imagine, like it's a bit of a joke. But never mind, more experiences. When I was on a school trip, okay, a few years later, all the girls, we were on the lift, with our suitcases to go upstairs. So for some reason, we were too many, okay? And not everyone could go in the lift. So someone had to get out. What happened? They did not talk, but they spoke. They all looked at me. And obviously, because I am silly, I went outside. This is the thing when you're an insecure child and you're quiet. They take advantage of that because they know that you're not going to complain. You're not going to create a conflict. You're just going to shut up and do as told. So they all looked at me, and I remember I kind of wanted to cry a little bit at that time. And none of them, not even one girl, went outside with me. Because the normal thing, if all of us don't fit and someone's going to go outside to take the next lift, as a nice thing, another girl out of the like 8 or 9 that they were in the lift will be like, okay, I'll go with you. None of them did. And it kind of really shocked me because the following lift is where the boys went. So it's basically we were two groups, group of girls and group of boys. So obviously I had to take the lift with the boys and I was the only girl in the lift. So it's kind of, if you imagine the situation, you do feel like an outcast. I was thinking, why me? But I knew inside of myself, even though I was like 12, I knew that it was because I was quiet. Like I remember being super aware that I was so quiet, that's why they treated me in such a way. So when I came back from that trip, I realized, I mean, my parents realized I had no friends. And you may wonder, how the hell can your parents realize, girl, you had no friends? Well, let me tell you, my dad is a photographer, so he bought me one of these like cameras you use once and then you dispose. And he had a space for like 50, 60 photographs. Not even one photograph was of me with someone else. I promise you, and this is literally 100% true. Every single picture was of trees or of plants, trees, buildings. That's it. There was no picture of me with anyone else. So obviously as parents seeing 60 pictures all used of plants and trees and buildings, like, well, something is wrong here. And at first I denied it. Can't hide. I was embarrassed to say, well, yeah, I have no friends. It's not something you're excited to say, especially as a kid, right? When being like having friends is like so important and stuff. So I was like, no, yeah, I'm just the pictures I took them with my old friend's camera is obviously fake. It wasn't true. But when they kept insisting, I ended up saying, okay, yeah, it's true. And in that trip as well, there was a moment which is actually not funny. There was a girl that probably saw that I was alone all the time, and she was really kind. And she said, oh, go over there. I'm going to take a picture of you. It was in a nice building. So I felt so excited of any human interaction being kind to me. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. So I went over there to be taking a picture. And she had to be kind as well, because she probably saw that I was alone all the time. She told her best friend, go over there, go with her, go next to her. So that probably I could have a picture with someone. So thank you, because I actually appreciate that a lot, because I know she did it with a really good intention. Her friend said no. Okay, she told her friend, go, yeah, stand next to her, so I can take a picture of both of you. And her best friend said, no. Curse word. How evil, honestly, do you have to be to say no? Like, you're already saying I have no freaking friends and I'm alone all the time. Like, and people say, oh, kids. No, not kids, you know, we're 12 years old, we're not children anymore. We have a brain, a working brain, and I remember very well, we're very emotional intelligence, and when something is done in a way, it's not done in... We know what we're doing at that age, okay? We're not with nappies walking around. So, oh my gosh, that felt so bad. Like, at the time, I remember that my face in that picture is like totally like wanting to cry, because you just feel so rejected. It's like your worst fear becomes a reality. Because if you're already, like me, very insecure, the fact that she said no to take a picture with me already, like, it's like already affirming there's something wrong with you. It's like, oh yeah, you have the right to be scared and to not talk because people don't like you. That's how you feel. You feel rejected and you feel like your worry and your concern is actually a reality and everyone else sees it that way. So yeah, I don't really know who she thinks she is or she was, but that's what happened. And those little things do, you know, kind of concern you, make you feel weird, and yeah, no one likes to see that, obviously. So I feel like I've had so many experiences like this with friends, and it's so important because at that age I still didn't know limits. I still was knowing myself, 1,000 things, right? But it's so important to put limits in friendships. Later on in life, a few years ago, I've had good friends. I've had a group of friends that I used to hang out with, but I decided they no longer add value to my life, and I do not want to hang out with them anymore. And it was a very weird process. I really didn't know how to stop hanging out with them, because I didn't want to say, look, I don't think you're an amazing friend. Like, I know if I have a problem, you're not going to be there, so I don't want to hang out with you. I was unable to say such a thing. Sorry, maybe I'm a coward, but I couldn't say, oh, you think too small, and I was also unable to say, hey, look, you know, I don't really like you. Every time I tell you about a goal, you tell me it's impossible, and you just make me feel super bad. I don't want to. I just slowly stopped hanging out with them because I realized if I am going to be hanging out with people that I know that if I have a big problem, they're not going to be there for me, I don't want to hang out with them. I know that there will be some people that do want to have a group of friends, to have a coffee somewhere, to go for dinner, at the time. I can't. I'd rather just not have plans and spend the time by myself rather than just hanging out with someone that I know they're not a real friend. Honestly, because to me, that is just a poop full of purpurine, and that stinks. Far away from me, please. And I've had friends in the past from this group, actually. She's generally a nice person, you know, I'm not saying she's a bad person, but she constantly disrespected me as a friend. For that reason, I had to take measures instead, because if not, I mean, what kind of self-respect do I have? Every single time that we met, she will arrive 40 minutes late. Obviously, I will be back home by then because she wouldn't reply to messages either. She always had this excuse, which I know is the reality, but I do not care, that when she went to bed, because she's quite irresponsible, she didn't charge her phone, meaning the alarm will not sound in the morning. So meaning she wouldn't appear. This hasn't happened one time, which 1, 2, 3, I can understand. I'm super chill, honestly. To piss me off, you really need to do a lot. But this has happened like 10 times, and most of these times I've been at her door, because she had to study, she was really busy, whatever. So I, without having anything to do in the morning, I will be at 7 in the morning at her door, waiting for her to go to have breakfast in the cafeteria in front of us, so she wouldn't waste any second of her time. And I went exactly to her door in her flat at 7 a.m. and she would appear, I don't know, she will send me a message at 7:40 when I'm home, 40 minutes later, saying, oh my gosh, sorry, I forgot to charge my phone, the alarm didn't sound, let's go now. I didn't go. I mean, who do you think I am? Once I did. When this kept going on for so long, who do you think I am? Because all those things also affected me, and this will be another ugly thing that friends have done to me. These things really shaped me. I may say like, haha, but like at that time, there's been many times that I literally cried because I already didn't have many friends. Maybe I had her as a friend, and I genuinely wanted to be closer with her. But you know what it is, making the effort and respecting someone's time, and respecting someone's presence, and making the effort of being super early at the door many times. For that, it's like a joke. So it's just so important to put. So it is super important putting measures, as a sign that you respect yourself. Because of this, many more things, like when I told her secret, she will say the secret to everyone. Not like I have anything to hide, but girl, if it's a secret, it's a secret. That's it, totally wrong. And many other things that I was just really disrespected, doing plans and changing them, not appearing. So obviously when this happened like so many times, I told her that I felt disrespected, that I can't believe she's doing this again, that I'm fed up with this. So I stopped meeting her. I was like, that's the end of the friendship, And 6 months went by and she kept texting me and trying to meet, but I couldn't be bothered because only God knows how many times she did this to me, how many times I was super early in the morning at her door and she didn't appear, and I felt like a dog in the street being treated like which dogs are amazing, but like, you get me, I felt like being treated like a piece of rubbish. And I felt like I was worthless. After these 5-6 months, I was like, I always say you have to be the best person you can in the world, and do good for the world. And this means also that if she keeps trying to meet, maybe I should give her a chance, because she's generally not a bad person. So after these 5-6 months without meeting her, decided meeting her, and because I knew how she is, I decided meeting her in the cafeteria like 5 minutes from my house. I was like, listen, I'm not wasting a second. We're meeting, it was like 9 a.m. It wasn't too early. In the cafeteria near my house. That made me feel calmer because like at least I don't have to walk super far for nothing. Alright, so when I was going, like I texted like, on my way, I'm arriving. When I didn't get a straight away answer, I already got the feeling of, you are freaking kidding me. Surprise, she didn't appear. She didn't reply to my messages, she didn't appear. I went back home. On the way back home, I cried a little bit because I just felt so worthless and I couldn't believe my eyes. I couldn't believe that giving this person a chance when she knows that I don't want to be her friend because she keeps disrespecting me, not appearing, and you know, I'm not a scumbag. And I've already taught her and not met her for like 5-6 months, and I give her the chance. I couldn't believe my eyes. I couldn't believe that she did the same thing again. And I knew it was going to be for the same reason. I just couldn't believe such a thing. When I got home, I was arriving home, cried a little bit, but you couldn't tell anymore. My mum was going to work. My mum knew, like now you do, the whole story. And my mum was looking at me like, no. And I was like, yeah. Because she was like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, and my mum kept saying no. And I'm like, yeah. My mum was more pissed off than what I was. She was like furious because it's like, you know, and also when I was arriving home, I felt worthless. I know I'm not worthless, but at the time, the amount of disrespect is so massive because I will never be able to do that to anyone, not even once. Once I will feel super guilty and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. But like, are you joking? So obviously then she texted me 40 minutes later, you know, I'm so sorry again, my phone turned off and my alarm did. I didn't reply for like, I don't know, a day, and I never met her again. And then it was her birthday and she invited me and I didn't go because I don't want to waste my time anymore. Because yeah, she's friendly, yeah, then you meet her 2 times and then the 3rd time she'll do the same thing. What are you adding to my life? You need to have friends because they add some value to your life. At least they make you feel good. Not this kind of crap. So I'm extremely happy that I cut her out of my life. You know, I don't think anyone should handle anything because our friendships now, yeah, we romanticize friendships. Please stop romanticizing friendships. Most of the times they suck. And if they suck, or sometimes, you need to do something about it. Otherwise, they just drag you down. You know how much these friendships have dragged me down? You cannot imagine. You know, in the comments when I say I have a goal with YouTube, like with my ASMR channel, which, you know, it's not this one, it's another one. You know the amount of time she's like, yeah, but like you need to get a real job. If I listen to these people, I would have never even posted one video. Because when I showed them the channel, they laughed. Why would I want to have those kind of people in my life? I'm already negative enough and I'm already insecure enough. Having them just takes my will to leave. No, thank you. So even though right now I barely have anyone or friends, I am so much happier. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters to me. If you're watching until now, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a beautiful day. I'll see you very soon. And I'm going to enjoy my cold latte now. I hope you enjoy yours.